My name is Michael Cheever, and in the 23 years that I've been in real estate, I had the opportunity to go from zero in production to netting over $1 million, and have been responsible for over $500 million in closed transactions. I currently serve as the general manager of the Rawls Group. The buyer brokerage agreement. It is now mandatory via law that we have to have it signed before we show property in person or virtually. So how do you get the buyer brokerage agreement signed, right? Well, the number one way to do that is in a buyer consultation. This is where you sit down face to face with the buyer or buyers and you actually consult with them. Process-wise, number one, build rapport. Just get to know them, ask them great questions, listen to what they have to say, repeat and affirm, let them know that you heard what they have to say by repeating that and then affirming, yeah, that's great, that's cool, awesome, right? Look for points of mutual connection that you have via where you're from, where they're from, who they know, who you know, where you went to school, where they went to school, where you have pets. Do they have pets? Do you like pets? Do you know somebody who has a pet, right? Any of those things, but find mutual connection points and then mirror and match as you go through the process of getting to know them. Again, this isn't copy them, right? But it's just bring your energy up a little bit if their energy is up, and if their energy is a little slower and they're a little more relaxed, just be a little bit slower and a little more relaxed. Right? Now, transition out of that rapport building into the actual consultation. And you can ask any question you want. I've just found this one to be the best. What exactly are you looking for in the agent that you hire to help you with the purchase of your new home? And then be quiet and listen. Whatever they say, repeat, affirm, and then ask them what else. Remember, a lot of times you're gonna have to dig a couple layers deep to get to the actual things that are most important to them, and that's okay. Don't make it uncomfortable. If you ask anything else or what else, and they say, nope, that's it, that's wonderful. Take those notes, because what they've just told you is what is important to them about the people that they work with, and you need to make sure that you deliver on those things for them. Now, transition from there, from rapport, into the process, right? What are you going to do relative to the process of building a home that's going to add value to their experience? So the first thing, process-wise, is they're going to start choosing. They're going to choose an agent to work with, right? You know who you want that to be. So you handle that how you want, right? You can do something cute like this, you can make a joke, or you can just say, hey, I'd love the opportunity to be that agent, and let's walk through how I'm gonna help you with your goals, right? However you do that. They're gonna choose an agent. You want it to be you. The next thing that they're gonna do, if they're buying the home with a loan, is they're gonna choose a lender. You want to walk them through the benefits of having an experienced lender with a great reputation who delivers on time and closes the loan, and that there are other lenders out there that don't. So you want to make sure that you connect them with a good lender and that ultimately they choose a good lender. The next thing that they're going to choose is they're going to choose a home. So you explain the home search process relative to portals, relative to the MLSs, the value that you're going to bring in helping make sure that they have available to them to choose all of the homes that fit the criteria that they want. And that wraps what we'll call phase one. That's the choose phase. The next is negotiate. You want to make sure, a lot of buyers are going to say things that are important to them is negotiation, right? So you want to highlight your understanding of negotiating the process. The first thing, once they found a home that they want to make an offer on, you're going to make an offer. We're going to negotiate that out. We're going to make sure that the terms of that offer are ultimately negotiated in a way that works for you, right? And is the best deal that you can get on that house. The next thing that we're going to negotiate is an inspection. We're going to have an inspection on the property, and if there's issues, which there's issues with every home, then we're going to negotiate based off the things that are important to you to make sure that we get as many of those as possible covered. Then we're going to have an appraisal. Now, hopefully the home appraises, but in the event it doesn't, I'm going to negotiate on your behalf to make sure that you're protected there as well. We move out of the negotiate phase and we're into the close phase. Closing is title gets run, title gets insured. We make sure that all the numbers line up. We make sure that everything that's supposed to be done with the property relative to any repairs is completed. We make sure that the seller's out of the home, that the home is clean. We'll do a walkthrough. We'll make sure that you're set up for any association. We'll make sure that all the details, right? You walk them through the details. We don't need to go through all that right now. And then ultimately they're going to get the keys and close on the property. Now, there's one other component. You can insert it where you want to, but you do want to insert it at some point, and that's financial considerations. It's things that they need to think about that are expenses that are going to come up relative to the purchase of a home. Obviously, there's going to be a down payment. If they're getting a loan, if they're paying cash, they're going to be putting 100% down as a down payment. But typically, people are getting a loan and there's a down payment. There's closing costs related to the loan and the purchase of the property. You can walk them through those. And then the appraisal and the inspection. Those are just, and obviously moving expenses and that kind of thing. So you just make sure that they have an idea of what the upcoming expenses are going to be. Those things typically would get tuned up a little tighter after they've talked to a good lender. So at that point, once you've finished those points, you've built rapport, you've explained the process, the value that you're going to bring to the process, and then you now move into the agreement. The way to transition, again, my recommendation is, do you feel comfortable and confident that I'm the right agent to help you with the purchase of your new home? Buyers normally at that point, done correctly, they'll say yes, they're comfortable and confident. In the event that they say no, don't freak out. That's an objection. Now, what you want to do, they say no, and you say, oh, well, tell me more about that. Open it up for them to talk. Open it up for them to feel comfortable, to bring up whatever it is that their concern is, and then overcome whatever that concern is. Not in a manipulative way, but explain the value, explain the resources that you have, explain the opportunity that overcomes whatever their fear, worry, or concern is. Now, if they remain that way and they don't want to buy a house, that's fine. But most people, when they're sitting there having a buyer consultation with an agent, do want to buy a house. So recommendation is, at that point, you want to isolate the objection, again, if the objection comes. Most of the time, you're going to hear a yes at that point. You're going to bring out the buyer brokerage agreement, you're going to walk them through it, and then you're going to get their autograph on the buyer brokerage. At that point, you now have a client and you're ready to go. We appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you next time. Crush it and have a great day.